Hello and welcome to another Zelda 1 random tourney race. I'm John Tabin. Joining me, yeah, I think Fury SK is going to jump in on the mic after he's also restreaming and he's doing double duty and restreaming in com, so he won't be with me right away. But we have a really interesting race here between Ta909 and Sassagelink. Sassagelink is a very solid player, been in the last few tournaments. Ta909 will be a name very familiar to veterans of Zelda 1 Randomizer, and maybe not familiar at all to people who are newer to the community. He was one of the dominant players circa 2017, 2018, and just disappeared for 2 years, and then until he signed up for this tournament. So we're all very interested to see, is he rusty? Is he up on the new flags? Um, so this is random percent, so we have to figure out the rules sort of as we go along, and they're off. They have the wand and the blue ring to start with, pretty friendly kit, and all Triforces except for level 6. So they just need to find the level 6 Triforce. They may need to find the bow and silver arrows if Ganon is required, which is 50-50. So Sassagelink finding a candle for sale for 45 right away. It's 50-50 whether extra candles are on, so that may or may not be important. It's a pretty good candle price if it is. And they're sort of going off in different directions. And we have shuffled drop groups because Sassagelink just got a bomb from a red Lionel, which is normally health group. So those enemies are not dropping their normal drop items, so that's something to watch out for. And Sassagelink got a heart container out of a take ending, and there was no candle in it, which means they will need to either buy a candle unless the red candle presents itself very quickly. So Sassagelink has found level 6. This is the Triforce they need right off the bat. He definitely picked the right. Assuming this is a level that's completable right now, he definitely picked the right way to go. Meanwhile, TA went towards West Hyrule. Looks like he's prioritizing checking Armoses. And he finds the power bracelet under the blue ring shop Armos. And gets a little bit of money. So we see some blue bubbles in this level 6. And we see a shoot. This is looking like possibly a second quest level 6. Can't tell for sure just yet, but a good chance of it from what we've seen so far. Yeah, that is definitely a room for second quest level 6. So now that means that levels 1 through 6 are second quest shapes. Level 7 through 9 could still be shapes or second quest or first quest. So we don't know what level 9 holds for us yet. Nice bomb price. TA picks up a bomb for just 9 rupees. Looks like this blue Wizard has spawn priority here, so Sassagelink's gonna need to take him out to clear the room. And the wood sword rolled to its vanilla cave. TA grabbing that. And Sassagelink finds the Triforce he needs. So early lead for Sassagelink, just picking that direction to explore. But of course, they still do need to find level 9 and possibly find a bow if Ganon turns out required. But this is shaping up to be a potential jet seed, but sometimes it doesn't turn out the way it seems at the beginning. So let's keep an eye out. Heart Rock is not open. That means we have either a mixed or second quest overworld. I don't remember if we saw the first quest level 5 screen. I feel like TA probably scrolled that way. I didn't register it, but if it's mixed quest, that guarantees the first quest level 5 screen will look like it does in first quest, and the second quest level 3, first quest level 2 screen will be a lake like it is in second quest. So those screens will tell us exactly what the overworld quest is. TA doing the northeast now. He's going to find level 6 pretty soon if he continues in this loop. So if Sassagelink wants to maintain his lead, he better find level 9. Since their start screen's right next to Heart Rock, they both chose to retry after bombing there to get the bomb back. Makes a lot of sense. It's like, take any roads or vanilla. At least one of them is. TA not taking the time to check them all, which is reasonable. Yes, TA got the power bracelet from the Armos, which was the Armos at the Blue Ring shop screen, second quest level 2 screen. So TA in level 6 now. He should, assuming he doesn't take some crazy wrong turn that Sassagelink didn't, he should find his Triforce within a few minutes here. Since it is at least a mixed quest overworld, there are more recorder spots and more power bracelet spots to check. So until we see where the level 9 entrance is, Seed's barely even started, even though they have their full Triforce. And yes, we're fairly sure it is second quest level 6. So if they do need to go into any of those smaller dungeons, they will all be second quest shape. 7 through 9, we don't know yet. Sassagelink gonna pick up his wood sword. What's interesting is neither of them have a candle because the extra candles flag rolled off. If level 9 is under a bush, we might not see it for a while. Although Sassagelink does have the money to buy a candle now, if he chooses. Room that TA is whittling down is the Triforce room. He doesn't know that yet, but we do. Sassagelink finds a 5th heart container, raising the odds that if he does find a white sword item, good chance he'll be able to pick it up. Not guaranteed. It might roll up to 6, but. TA sorting down that Wizard with no problem gets his Triforce, and we both have a full Triforce. Now it's just a race to find level 9, unless someone decides to gamble the Ganon's required, in which case you might dive into a different level.
Alright, now that my setup is done, I would kind of guesstimate that they're going to go ahead and both look for 9 for a little while.
Oh, hi, Fury. And yeah, that first quest level 5 screen is does look like it does in first quest, which means this is definitely a mixed quest overworld, which means that caves that open in one quest or the other, but that open only in one quest or the other, may or may not open. And this cave in the southwest, where Sassagelink is exploring now, did open. TA first to buy a candle.
Candle is probably pretty important in this scene.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of the no candle locations. I mean, we haven't been up at Death Mountain yet, but there's a good chance a burn bush is going to have something important, if not level 9 itself. TA is going to see a lake here that he won't be able to open. I don't remember if he's been up to see. No, it's random how many Triforces they started with. In this case, they started with 7, and by now they've both found this. They both found the 8th because it happened to be near a star. In the last random percent tournament, it was random how many they needed to enter 9, and the old man entering tell you, which, well, at least at one stage of the tournament, it was like that, and that led to some rushing 9. So having the Triforce entry be randomized instead of the requirement, the Triforce starting be randomized instead of the requirement be randomized, makes it a little bit less rush straight to 9. Now, TA did find the white sword. I think it was at the vanilla first quest level 8 screen. He could not pick it up with 5 hearts, so it's going to need one more heart container to get that double damage output, which Sassagelink is about to discover himself.
Solid troll by the game. It can roll 4 to 6 and should roll most often to 5, but, you know, why give him something nice here?
The drops definitely are shuffled. We saw a red Lionel dropping a bomb, which that is a 50-50 flag.
Have we seen the big shield shop yet?
Oh, I haven't noticed. If you're asking about if we have ruled boomstick around, I haven't seen a book, certainly. I don't know. I could have missed a shield that would tell you one way or another. But yeah, it is 50-50 whether dungeon items are shuffled. So if it does so there is a reasonable chance that the bow will be in second quest 5 and so forth, which makes it a reasonable gamble to jump in if you find it. TA finding level 7.
First quest, level 7 from the starting room alone, I would say, but it's not impossible with shapes.
Yeah. The level 6 palette was definitely shuffled, so we can't infer anything from the level from 7 being green necessarily, but it could be still be first quest.
I think the bomb shop is actually the expensive shield shop as well, so it looks like we're not going to get the boomstick despite starting with the wand.
Too bad. But Sassagelink found a 6-heart container and has picked up his white sword. Yeah, looks like TA's making the play to Death Mountain, at least to the northeast Death Mountain to start with. He does. It looks like he's putting that power bracelet to use since it's an item he has. He can open some extra caves, maybe prioritizing those spots. Yes, this is game one. Nothing at the second quest. Magical sword push block. And TA finds level 3. I don't know if he wants to stick around here. Looks like the answer is no.
I think if I were to gamble on any dungeon, second quest, first half, it might be level 2 as opposed to level 3, but I don't know what the... I almost want to say a mixed quest would prevent you from having a vanilla item set up, because that would confuse the game a little bit.
It actually doesn't, but it can confuse the player. I actually had a seed that was half second quest and half shapes, and I thought, where's the wand going to be, because the items were all unshuffled, and it turned out that it put the I think it put the wand in second quest 8, and then the book in first quest 6, which would be extremely confusing with all the other items unshuffled. Or maybe it was the other way around. I actually don't take my word for that, but it does something strange if the mixed quests roll together. That it is possible to have everything but the wand and vanilla.
Well, then that makes my 2 dive even more sensible, I would think, because that would tend to be where your flute is potentially at, and we are starting to get a little bit lower on our potential 9 spots. I'm not too surprised at a potion pickup at the Take Anyone this time from Sassagelink. He's got his 6 hearts, his white sword, and a blue ring to boot, so it's actually a little bit more beneficial. Not to mention our friendly red bubbles. Did we see what the curse was?
I don't think either of them have been touched by one, at least not long enough for me to make a read on it. TA getting a nice bomb force off of a blue Tektite. Yeah, he didn't push that the power bracelet spot at the second quest ladder cave. He might just be walking right back there. My assumption was that he was just whittling the screen down so it was less dangerous to be standing there. And looks like that's right. Sassagelink heading towards the Deadwoods. That and Death Mountain are the 2 big areas we haven't seen much. So if level 9 is not blocked by a recorder or raft, then one of these guys are going to find it pretty soon. Sassagelink finding 5 and 2 one after another in the Deadwoods. So. Grabbing the letter, he has plenty of money, so if he finds a potion shop, he can certainly pick one up if he wants to.
Oh, hello.
Oh, it is a boomstick seed. We just hadn't seen the shop yet. That Sassagelink would have enough to buy that book if he went straight up to Death Mountain and didn't get hit by a door repair along the way. He's level 1 at the White Armos screen. So I think Death Mountain was a total bust for TA, except for the boomstick shop, which he didn't have money for. Oh, he might be going back there. There may have been some bomb holes he couldn't hit. Oh no, I'm wrong.
He did pick up some more bombs so they can go back there later. He stuck predominantly to the first quest spots for now, just because he was so low on bombs.
Ah, yeah.
Which is kind of the fair play, I think. If you don't have enough bombs, bomb the spots you know are going to open, and come back for the ones you don't.
Sure.
But I do like having boomstick seeds at the moment because it allows us to use our newest feature that our friends at Randomizer put in. We get to see our little merchant guy.
Oh yeah, yeah. They got that done really quick because there was discussion of that on the Discord just the other day. Nice job in the background of Randomania.
Yeah, I think it was Captain Yuhu and Grim Sinavix who were leading the charge on that. But it's a good way to signal exactly where our boomstick might be if that guy's lit up.
Sassagelink doing Northeast Death Mountain now, we know because he's retracing steps that TA already took. He's not going to find much. So yeah, TA returning to get these last couple Death Mountain spots checked. We're sort of running out of places you can get to with just a bomb or a candle, though. So we might need to find something else to find this level 9.
Did we at least see level 2 by chance?
Yes, we did. It's in the Deadwoods, which is where TA's heading now. And Sassagelink took a pass on it, which made sense at the time because he hadn't seen Death Mountain. It's level 8. Which I missed when TA was doing Death Mountain, but I can't imagine he missed that. I probably just was looting away.
Yeah, part of the advantage of being the commentary and restreamers, I get to see a little bit of their personal trackers. It looks like he's got everything at Death Mountain except for the flute spot and the 2 river spots, which I guess are river spots, not Death Mountain spots. But anyways, they're kind of up there.
Yeah.
And there is the boomstick, I think, on Sausagelink's side. So
and he's taking it. So he's gonna be the boomstick can't open overworld caves unless an enemy happens to be standing right next to them. But in dungeons, you can open every wall without worrying about your bombs. So, and it's also does 4 HP of damage because it's a bomb. Throws a bomb instead of a flame. So he'll be able to have quite a bit of offense like that. He's using on those Lionels. It's 2 HP when the spell itself hits them, but when the bomb goes off, it's 4. So there's some nuances to how to use it effectively. TA finds level 5. He's I guess he's gonna loop around, but yeah, check there first. But I think level 2 was the first quest, Deadwood's 100 Secret, the long column of trees, which I think he's gonna do the couple spots in the southwest before he gets back to there, and we'll see if he decides to dive into level 2. Because if items are unshuffled, which, well, I think it's still possible. If items are unshuffled, then level 2 would have second quest level 2 would have the recorder, and the recorder can do quite a lot. Not only can it open some of these recorder spots, it can also potentially whistle to unbeaten dungeons and fast travel another way. Although if it's unbeaten dungeons, it won't do anything when they whistle. But it's still important for exploration with the mixed quest overworld.
Looks like we have a shield in level 8, which would replace the book.
Yeah, if this is first quest level 8, then that could potentially be a vanilla item shuffle.
TA's got one last spot to check here in the Deadwoods. We'll see if he'll turn around because he's so close to level 2 and go get that, or if he chooses a different dungeon entirely. I don't know that he's seen vanilla 2, but I think he can presume what it will be if he thinks it's a mixed overworld.
Well, he did see that it was the lake, yeah. Oh, did he not burn that Deadwood spot?
For level 2?
Yeah.
He has level 2 marked, so I
okay,
think
so he saw it, but just chose not to go in. He's choosing level 1 instead.
Well, if you were to find there's push blocks are going to be dominant first off because of where that key was placed in level 1, right next to that push block. So that flag's on. If he finds the wooden boomerang, I would be hot stepping it just on that information alone to level 2.
Yeah, both of the staircases in second quest level 1 are open, but the remove most open staircases flag will replace those with push blocks that you have to fill the room for. And that key on the floor in that case would have replaced the corridor stair with the wall masters in vanilla first quest. And he's found the heart container on the floor. So the question is he gonna find the wind boomerang or something else?
We can roll out the flag that puts the items in their vanilla room spots in these dungeons, at least based on what we've seen so far. Yeah,
that key was in Aquamentus's room where the heart container normally spawns, so we're not going to see all the Triforces in Triforce rooms and so forth.
There is a potential for that still to happen because they are 2 different setups. It's just
oh really?
Yeah, I didn't think that was the case myself, but then I witnessed it when I was doing commentary last night on a race. But it was specific to shapes, so perhaps that might also cause a bit of confusion in there.
Yeah, there's so many, because all these flags are 50-50, there are so many nuances. It's if the mythical person who could understand them all would have a massive advantage in these races. And yeah, our tracker on the sock reminding us that the level 6 Triforce was not in a Triforce room either. So.
Yep, certainly for this race it's not going to happen.
Sassagelink also choosing to dig level 1.
It's an any key in level 1, so throw everything out the door.
Items.
We're searching.
Yeah, items are shuffled for sure. Yeah.
Although with a second quest first half, if you're going to find a item out of place, I think any key is probably well received.
Yeah, because second quest dungeons have a lot fewer key drops than the first quest ones.
In this setup specifically, which I think from what I saw on Sausagelink's side, looked like 8 was vanilla first and designed from the few rooms you went into. You will have a lot of key doors in level 9 and first quest 9, whereas in second quest you would have been a little bit safer on a low key count.
For sure.
I find this level 7 dig kind of interesting though. I mean, if you make this play, the chances of your opponent making the play with you are, I would think, kind of slim. So
yeah, it's definitely a play you make if you want. It's a big gamble because particularly if we're right to this first quest level 7, it's huge. There's only one basement item. It's you can spend a lot of time here. So now the boomstick will make it go somewhat quicker because none of the walls will stop him. But secret on the tip of the nose is a vanilla first quest level 7 hint. So that seems to be where we are. We don't. Level 9, it could be on the river, it could be under a recorder spot, or it could be under a raft spot.
Yep. For level 8, there's 4 rooms across the bottom, and he's in the right column to go up through. So if it bombs north here, I would start to basically sell out to the idea that first quest.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. So we got second quest for the little dungeons, first quest for the big ones. So
looks like we did. Sorry, it does look like we found a heart container in 7. I don't know if that was noted, but it was that puts us closer also to heart shuffle off.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of hearts on the floor and not a lot of items on the floor. And the only item we've seen on the floor is in a dungeon that has an item on the floor. So. TA running into a ladder block. I didn't see how far up he went. I'm not sure if there's going to be a way around that. There might be.
You can bomb here. Nope. So ladder blocked 8.
Yeah, it looks like it. Yeah, you could get the magical shield out of 8, which Sassagelink did, and TA took a pass on, but. They started with blue ring and wand.
Yep, we rolled the notorious 7 Triforce start with halfway decent items, so it looked like a quick seed until we explored the entirety of the overworld and realized we're either raft blocked or recorder blocked, or ladder blocked.
They had every Triforce except level 6. Level 6 was a few screens away from start, so both of them had the Triforce out of that like 10 minutes in, but we still haven't seen level 9.
Oh hey, grumble grumble. That actually is a bit of a concern for Sassagelink at his current rupee count, I believe. I didn't see what the cheapest bait was, but that blocks a ton of that level off.
Oh yeah, if you're entering second quest level 3 from the bottom, then then the bait block appearing in that spot could be an issue. Yeah, and in second quest there are 2 bait blocks, so in level 3 and level 8. Level 8 is second quest. Level 8 is basically first quest level 7 from the game's perspective in terms of where the Triforce is and where the whistle goes and so forth, and there's also a bait block there. So there's a bait block in the 7 because 7 through 9 rolled first quest. So yeah, it looks like if you want the item out of level 3, you're gonna need to feed that guy.
So we may have a bait required, and we may have a ladder requirement even before we get to level 9. Yeah, it looks like we had 2 magical shield shops and a bookshop, so I'm kind of curious as to what the game did in this specific seed.
Yeah, I still don't understand the details of how Boomstick places the book in the shop, because I think it's supposed to be in the rare shop, but sometimes we see it in one of the common shops, and I don't know exactly why.
Well, I know why it is a more common shop in the vanilla item setup with the vanilla prices.
Okay, so Theerwolf's saying the Booker place is the most expensive shield, so if the most just all the shields in the seed are really expensive, that's all.
Oh, see, I don't ever pick up the shield, much to the chagrin of Zarnex42, so I didn't even realize there was 3 shields. I always assumed it was 2, and I was just going the same shop over and over.
TA grabbing that bait and paying the block in 3. He didn't bother to up an A to keep it, so I don't know if it's the block in 7. I think Sassagelink's seen her way around it, even if it is a thing, but I'm not positive.
Red candle in 7. That's gonna be well, you should know that that's not gonna be.
Well, he's seen the any key in 1, so he knows the items are shuffled. But
man, if you had dug 7 on a whim.
Yeah, with these flags, that can confuse you. Red candle was in 7.
I was just thinking, if you dig that out of order just on a whim to hopefully like beat a opponent by doing something you think they won't do, that would really throw you for a loop.
Yeah, and I've had that happen where I got the recorder out of second quest 2. I assumed the items were unshuffled, went into 5 for the bow, and found something else.
It looks like TA found the boomerang in level 3 and is going to head off, presumably here to the 2 and 5, since they're right next to one another. We'll see which one he decides on first. I would think 2.
Yeah, since you do know that items are shuffled, you probably want to go to 2 first, but it's like Sassagelink going into 5. Does the walk-through wall cancel out the remove open staircases flag the way a shutter does? Because TA just saw the corridor in two.
No, there's just some situations in which the shutter door. I know that the shutter doors cancel out some of the potential open
Right.
staircases.
I know that. I was just, but he just walked into walked into a walkthrough. There was a Gliok there and a corridor, and I wondered if there was something about that room configuration that prevented the remove open staircases flag.
My guess is something in there had to give, whether or not it was a drop or whatever.
Yeah.
All I know is when I race and I see Second Quest 2, I'm still running links straight into a wall or Trogdor or whatever sprite I'm using. It's better to look foolish than to miss something important.
A. So you got one in the A, one in the Z.
Yeah, this is a pretty nerve-wracking race to be in because of all the shuffling and such that's going on for them. They don't know where exactly their item is they need.
I mean, you got your Triforce 10 minutes in, and you've cleared the whole overworld. You're desperate to find what this item is and to maybe open up wherever 9 is, and it's and we're 40 minutes in, and you've just made no progress for the past half hour. Basically, it's gotta be, our runners are gotta be a little bit tense at this point. Sassagelink taking a death to that Gliok. That's kind of a rough one because he was pretty far from start.
Of all the things in level 2, it's gotta just be a wand.
The wand they started with. Alright. So is TA gonna
Heart refill in 5?
maybe.
That's my guess, and that would be my play, but we'll see what he decides to do. If that is the call, he's going to be at a bit of a disadvantage as far as clearing 5 goes, since Sausage has a little bit of a head start on him. It's another situation where I don't think the Stalfos are actually firing off sword beams all that much, so I'm wondering if, once again, they've been stuck on the off position somehow.
Yeah, we saw that in a previous race, and I don't think anyone knew why it happened, so... Usually Second Quest dungeons have Second Quest enemies, but...
I'm wondering if it has something to do with what dungeon sets are in what dungeons. I almost think it has to be something along that lines that causes that.
Oh, like, if... Because there's Stalfos in First Quest 7. Now, Sassagelink finds the ladder, which will open up those 2 river spots, if that's the answer.
Yeah, it opens up the river spots, and he was also ladder blocked in 8, so I think I don't know which one he'll choose to do first, but I would be keen to probably look up there pretty quickly.
Oh, that's interesting. He's digging 2 instead. He may be convinced he needs he may be convinced he needs something, recorder or wrap for some reason, or maybe he just wants to have everything before he continues on the overworld, if possible. I don't know.
Well, the only reason that he would dig this, I think, is because of where he is on the overworld, and having two
That's
right
true.
next to him, he doesn't want to have to come flying back across the overworld to get it.
That's true. And if the basement happens to be one room in, it's a lot faster to do it now than come back. And now TA's already done this too, so we know all he's gonna find in here is the wand. Let's see if he gets to that wand and gets out of here before TA can get to that ladder. Because whoever finishes the current dig is going to be the first one to continue overworld exploration.
Mm-hmm. Fortunately, TA's also using pause strats, so he's not getting hit by red bubble, and I still haven't. I don't think I saw Sausage get hit by one either. Or Sassage.
It's Sausage. It's a reference to the Chicago Saturday Night Live Ditka fans.
Yeah.
Sassagelink. Yeah, this boomstick is definitely saving Sausage a bit of time in this as he clears these rooms.
I'm not sure if it's it looks like the red bubble curse is definitely not slow, but I can't tell if it inverted him and he's just really good at switching back to the inverted, unverted controls, or if he's inverted, reverted, or if it was swordless to him. I guess it's swordless, but hard to say.
Yeah, it looks like swordless based on his movement.
I think once he starts heading further down here, he'll be able to get to his ladder, and he'll have this a little bit less of a predicament. Oh, wait a minute, he's on the wrong side. I don't blame him on this potion jug. It's not the room you want to die in, because it's quite a ways away from the route you had to get up here. I do suspect you will hold that second potion for a little while.
One would think, yeah.
There is the ladder as well for Ta909, so Sassagelink is going to level 8 where the ladder block was.
Has TA been in 8 at all yet?
Yep, he got to the same ladder block.
Okay,
So they are
may
both.
head back there.
Yeah,
It
they're
looks
both
like
aware.
he's heading back into 6. That's interesting. But, 6 is smaller than 8, so if the if the answer is in here, this will pay off. Might want to kill this manhandler before doing that clip, yeah. I stand corrected. You can't make TA kill a manhandler if he doesn't want to, apparently. He did not bring the boomstick with him to this wizard room, so... The 7 through 9 are first quest, 1 through 6 are second quest. And yeah, it is interesting that both of them chose to keep digging dungeons before checking those river spots. Now it is mixed quest overworld, so those river spots are not guaranteed to be there as they would be in a straight second quest overworld. But TA may be thinking he wants to check this first, and then he's only a few screens away from that river if that turns out to be the answer.
Oh man, this room is awful.
Ooh.
Oh, there's the fairy. Is he gonna run away from him? No, he's gonna get it. And it looks like Sassage found our friendly magic boomerang in level 8 as the second item, so he is also out of level 8. He is moving to the right. Don't know if he's going to go up to 3 or if he's going to go to those ladder spots.
Looks like he's heading towards 3.
Yeah, I didn't disagree too much with TA looking through level 6 real quick, since it was kind of where he was. This level 3 turn without checking the overworld spots is a little bit more of a interesting play in my mind. Just because he was only 1 screen away from checking the first one, 2 away from the second one.
Mm-hmm. But he's also in a pretty intense race right now, so it's...
Yeah, he may get turned around by the bait anyways here in a second.
Yeah. It's like TA had to check every single room of those 6 to find wherever the staircase is. Alright. Sassagely finds level 4 at this river spot.
Well, that's an interesting turn of events.
Yeah, second quest level 4 is very large, and it has 2 items. Hey, JSR, we don't know yet. We haven't found level 9. We are...
Yeah, so
They started with 7 Triforces, got the 8th within 10 minutes and have not found level 9 yet.
And we've searched the whole overworld, and we've gotten through collectively, I think, at least 5 of the dungeon options, with level 6 and level 4 being ladder blocked, being the potential solution to go forward. Oh man, that's a kind of annoying spot to get ripped at, but you should have a straight line path at least.
Yeah, he's been in every room of this 6, I think. Look, clocks everywhere. The red keys that split from a Vire do not advance the global counter, but when they shuffle into a dropping group, they just drop the same thing over and over again. So always amuses me when you just see a room full of clocks all of a sudden.
Yeah, I think that's second best only to the fair reception when you get 3 or 4 of them to go flying around at the same time. But we got a raft in 4.
Sassagelink finds the raft in 4. What's TA gonna find in 6?
Alright, well, this spiral staircase kind of has to be it at this point.
Yeah.
I would think it almost has to be the flute.
It is.
Alright, so now here comes the fun part, because Sassagelink is probably going to find his way, if he keeps digging this, to the bow, presuming that level 9 does not have its important items on, has red ring and silvers, which I kind of tend to believe at this point. So buckle up on this, because if Gan's required, it's going to be a situation where Sassagelink is actually not in that bad of shape. But if Zelda's room is open, I think this race is pretty much all but over the other way. So we won't know.
I mean, it's hard to say. We don't know. For all we know, the raft opens up 9, and TA's nowhere near it.
That is true. I just
but you're correct. The bow was in level 4, and so if anything but the recorder is the answer, then Sassagelink has it.
We have seen that's not hard shuffle, so absolutely guaranteed our items placements at this point. Level 6 is in the Lost Hills. I believe it's the bomb spot up high. And looks like it was under
level 9
the lake.
Is under the recorder lake at first quest level 2, second quest level 3. TA, interesting. He's not going in. He may be thinking if Ganon wasn't required, that Sassagelink would have been done.
Nope, something more important than that.
Oh, the white sword's right here. I forgot it was right there and he hadn't gotten it.
I didn't realize what he was doing until I saw which direction he was walking and where the white sword was. I'm like, oh, yeah, that probably is kind of useful.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he has been holding his own in comparison to Sassagelink with regards to combat on just a wooden wand, but it's, if Wiz Robes are in 9, it's certainly a nice to have.
Yeah, for sure.
The game trolls him with the bomb drop as he's entering.
So, Sassagelink is about to find that this raft is a dead end.
And I think he has to get either bait or go to level 6 at this point. I think he was definitely the one that saw the red candle at 7.
Yeah, for sure. So,
and the usual common strategy is to go north when possible, level 9, given that Zelda can be in her own room. It's slightly less likely that that's actually the case this time, but it could still happen.
Yes, the big dungeons were first quest. So this is a first quest 9. Sassagelink buying the bait. Presumably he's going to go check behind that block and
We had a
level
glitch
3,
roar too.
which is going to be a dead end. Yeah, I don't have audio, so I'll take your word for that.
And
But you're right, because that's definitely a Ganon. But he does not have a bow or silver arrows yet, so let's see if he can bomb out of this room.
answer is no, and because it's first quest 9, he should not have to walk through any walls near. I just throw it out and say should because I never know. I never know because it's supposed to stay. First quest is no walkthrough. Second quest is shapes is.
Not necessarily JSR. In fact, if important item, I actually in the last Router's Relish Battle Royale, we had one where you were required to go into Ganon's room and bomb out to get to the bow, which was pretty interesting.
Looks like Sassagelink is probably going to feed the Grumble Grumble here, and since he's already been through 7 and found the red candle, he's going to just ignore up and A his bait. I think it is a good decision to clear that room A for the shutter and B because you have potential to find silvers in any of these staircases, so it's that could very well be required still. Uh-oh.
Oh, Ganon's required. We just found a shutter that did not open when TA cleared the room.
And he knows where Ganon is, he knows where Zelda is. He doesn't know where the silvers are, but I think it's not that bad of a play to go ahead and see if you can't find your way to level 4, and I think he's guaranteed himself the ladder spots, because that's the only place he's really good.
Yeah, and at this point, I think there are more staircases inside level 9 than outside that he has left to check. So probably want to find the bow before the silvers.
TA has been to the level 3 and found the boomerang. He can go to level 7, which is the closest dungeon. He's also got 1 or 2 more recorder spots. I think he's got Vanilla 7, the grave spots, and the one he's hitting now.
3 had the boomerang, and 7 had the red candle, so those are dead ends.
Speaking of dead ends, we got a breadstick now, basically.
Yeah, recorded Unbeaten Dungeons is on, and they didn't entire track, so not using it to warp anymore.
He's a little confused, but I think he'll figure that out.
Yeah.
So he doesn't look to be heading down yet, so we'll see if he's heading off to those ladder spots or where he's going. He could be going up to the Death Mountain spot as well. I think this is a dead heat at the current moment to answer the question, chat, because it looks like TA is going to bomb the river spots first, and I would think it would take him in around 6 or 7 minutes to clear all of level 4. Just because he has a potion, a white sword, and a wand. So it's, I would think Sassagelink is capable of doing the same thing in level 6 and kind of meeting him in there. And from there, you know, it's going to be Sassagelink going for the Zelda room, but I mean, he can stumble into the silvers all the same. Yeah, this 6 has, I think, 1 or 2 required shuttle rooms to kind of get through, but the big advantage Sassage has of getting through it that TA did not have is he has the boomstick, which will hurt the Wizrobes if you hit him with the blast, because it is a bomb impact. I still maintain that these are my favorite kind of seeds, though. The ones where you're basically given all the Triforces, and then you have this panic mode where either 9 is blocked or Zelda is required, and you have to go on a full-on redig hunt.
TA finding the raft first.
I think he's begrudgingly picking it up just in case it's got some money or something on the overworld, but...
Yeah, he came very close to just turning right around, because he knows that... Yeah, he knows that there's where 9 is, so he has no reason to think he needs a raft. But he does need the bow, which is in the other basement here.
And I kind of want to say this is the transport room, if I remember. So he's not quite there yet. He's giving Sassagelink some time. Alright, time is starting to run out though on Sassagelink because there is the bow, so it's going to be back to level 9, and I would think TA is breathing a sigh of relief that he doesn't have to go into 7 and look around too much.
Yeah, for Sassagelink to catch up, he needs to finish off this 6 dig pretty quickly, and then he needs to really right order the recorder spot exploration.
And level 9 can still equalize. I mean, it is
Absolutely.
first quest.
But the longer he takes to get into level 9, the more time TA has to build a lead.
Yeah, well, he's going to the spiral right now, so he will get his recorder, and then it's just a question of which spot he looks at first.
Yeah.
So still not over. It's definitely an interesting race.
And he is in East Hyrule, so if he clears east to west, then he's gonna hit level 9 pretty fast.
Yeah, he's gonna blast it because he's. I mean, you think you're behind, but I would only be doing this if there was a dun on the other side, and I know he hasn't seen it yet. So he's going straight down. He's going to the right spot immediately, it looks like. That's a benefit to him.
Yeah. Nochi bringing up a good point, Chad. That boomstick's gonna speed him up a little bit in level 9. So this is quite a race because he found 9 right away as soon as he had his lab recorder. But TA's got a bit of a head start on checking these staircases, and TA knows where Zelda and Ganon are. So
Yep, it's double knowledge, and he has about 22 rooms so far cleared from my quick counting. The boomstick is doubly helpful here because TA is going to have to farm some bombs as he's moving around this night as well. That's always amusing.
TA finds Zelda's room, for she's not there. In about half these races, because it's a 50-50 flag, Ganon and Zelda actually will be in their vanilla rooms. So, but we already saw that Ganon was in I think it was a desert room. So.
That's a good drop to find. boy, we have a silver sighting on TA's side now.
TA's got the silvers. He knows where Ganon is. He knows where Zelda is. That's probably the game, unless something very unexpected happens in the next few minutes.
He also has his staircases mapped out so that he knows which one goes where. So, barring something really crazy combat-wise, some major rust or something, it's looking like Sassage is gonna have to come back in the next one.
Yeah, based on what I've seen from TA during this race so far, I'm gonna guess that he hasn't. He's touched the game since he last streamed. Put it that way.
Oh yeah, I was told he's run probably a good handful of these offline already. So
yeah.
But just in case he decides to get himself in a bit of trouble with his potion and everything, I'll save myself a little bit. And never mind about combat on that.
No, that's a 0 HP Ganon, so now TA just has to, assuming he tracked correctly, all he has to do is walk to Zelda's room, and he's got this race.
He's got question marked on his tracker personally, so I think he'll find his way. I just gotta wait all this junk out. This is an annoying room to have to clear to get to Zelda when you're in a race and you're worried about getting sniped.
And get your GGs in chat for Ta909, finishing in with an official SRL time of 1:11:44. Sassagelink just saw that Zelda door, I believe.
Yep, and what I saw, I think, was Silver's being on the far left side of level 9, either in the L or the E column, so that's the way he's going to have to go if he wants to get over there and grab it for himself and finish off this seed.
And TA saying in the IRC he has to go join for dinner, so he will join us in the booth. He says he'll join us in the booth after the next race, but he can't right now.
That's fair enough.
Fine.
Looks like Sassagelink is making his way over to where we know the silvers are. He doesn't know it yet, but
yeah, they were somewhere in the southwest.
And one of our people in the chat room have suggested that it's over in the bottom left corner or the L column.
Yeah.
So he's just got to find a way into the L column here to the left.
Locked door will do it. He goes that way. Which he is.
I think he'll have found it. I don't know. Did he actually run into Ganon's room? Take a look.
I don't know that he did.
It's not tracking. Not tracking 9, so I can't say for certain that he's heard Ganon's roar, but I do suspect, seeing as I saw 2 ways to get there, that, well, 2 ways to at least get to where you can hear him, that we shouldn't be too much longer.
Yeah, I know he was right next to Zelda's room, so if he hasn't heard Ganon, he's been in a lot of 9 that would leave him that section to explore, if that makes sense, so I don't think it'll take too long to get there.
Yep, the pig in this one is in the E column at the very top. Zelda's room is in the other E, as you see on his compass.
Nope, he's...
It shouldn't matter too much at this point, but it's probably a little bit of an annoying loss of a potion.
Oh, there were two paths to Zelda. Interesting.
Let's see if you can go left and up, or... Nope, looks like it's dead end. So it's going to be the staircase. The staircase he's looking for, I believe, is in the dash column, just above the eye. Just as a little update while we're watching Sassagelink navigate this 9, we have a race ongoing currently between Zoas and Sea Falcon on Speed Gaming. We also have Lakitek and Duke Firebird following that matchup, and following that matchup we have Liquid Husband and Cantaloupe Me. So it's a trio of games there.
Actually, Liquid Husband and Cantaloupe are a doubleheader, I believe.
Oh yeah, so it's a quad.
Yeah.
And then we also have we have 2 more races now tonight on Randomizer. We have one at 9:30 with Almighty Bobino versus King Doll, and we will have one at 10 o'clock featuring Eat My Steel and Russian Bishop. The CJ and Dracia matchup got postponed to another day.
Oh, we did it? Okay.
It's rather odd. I don't think I didn't hear much of a roar in that room on his side.
Oh, there was a Patra in there.
Oh, he's going to get trolled by the Patra. That's rough. If he reverses course through the stairs, he will eventually find his way back, I would think, and hear the roar, if he didn't already hear it through the masking. But for now, he's just going to find his way to where Zelda isn't today. And he has to reverse course by default. I actually think that's probably a good thing.
Yeah, that seems like a hermetically sealed segment.
Oh, he may bail out, but he's got one room up there that he would have to look at in his assumption. I would think he would assume he has one to look at. So he'll go there first, and if he keeps on progressing on that side, maybe he'll hear the mask via Patra on the other side as well. how many staircases we've seen, I almost think this has to be Red Ring in this time. It is. He's not even going to pick it up. He's like, forget this.
Yeah, it's he has a blue ring, he has a blue potion, and it's 50-50 that Ganon's 0 HP, so
all she wrote for Sassagelink said, that's it. I've had enough of my full exploration of 9.
yeah. Yeah, I wonder if he realizes that he was in the Patcher room that masked the roar, and he just but yeah. he can see the TA is done, so not much more to do.
Well, I have invited him in. We'll see if he is interested in talking about it for a moment or two, and then we'll kind of send you on the way.
Yeah, it looks like Sassagelink is going to come into the booth with us. So we'll give him a minute to collect his thoughts and then join us.
But while we are waiting for him to join us in the commentary booth, I would like to thank John Tabin for joining me in the commentary booth and on the restream, as well as I'm a sock for tracking behind the scenes, so it allowed me to get through some of the stuff I had to do to set up before I could get into the commentary booth.
Yeah.
And it won't be the last you hear of me or John Tabin tonight, I don't think, because I think he's got another one to cover in about an hour's time, and I've also got one a little bit later now, so you haven't gotten rid of us both yet.
That is true.
So what an interesting seed we had here. Another one where you started off with just about everything you thought you might need, and turns out you had to go do the full roundabout on both sides, really. I think only TA got lucky enough not to have to go into level 7, but otherwise they both cleared just about everything else.
And we're joined in the booth by Sassagelink now, GG Sassagelink.
Thank you.
This was a really great race. I don't know if you felt ahead or behind, but you guys were kind of neck and neck on slightly different routes for most of the time.
Actually, I felt behind for quite a bit of it, and finding that flute taking so long to get back to 6 and finding that, that really just kind of made me go, oh no, I'm way behind.
Yeah, I think that did make the difference because TA had a pretty big head start into 9 by getting to that recorder first. But this is an interesting seed. You start with 8 Triforces, and you found 6 almost immediately.
Yeah, finding that, I just went, oh man, I need to find level 9 as fast as I can, and yeah, it turned out to be an hour later.
Yeah, and then it's one of those things, just need to rush to 9, and you search and search and search.
Yeah, I even got excited finding the boomstick up in Death Mountain pretty quick, and yeah, there were just a lot of pieces of that puzzle to put together.
Yeah, TA never got that boomstick book, so So you actually did close the gap a little bit. You you were sometimes you were getting into six behind him. You got through it a lot faster because of that. So it was pretty exciting for a lot of the way, especially since um, he got to 9 first and discovered uh, the shutter that Zelda the Ganon was required, while you were in 4 getting getting the bow. So
Oh wow, he was in there a while then.
yeah, so he had to go back out and find the bow after, whereas you got it first. So like I said, quite different routes, but it was pretty close a lot of the time, and there were for a lot of this race, it was like there's going to be a huge swing if one of them takes a goes in one direction or the other. So yeah, so thanks for a very entertaining time.
Thank you very much.
Do you know where Ganon is, by the way?
I'm guessing probably along the top, right outside of that patcher room I went in.
Exactly. Yeah. We wondered if because Patra mapped the roar when you were right below it, if you'd missed that entirely, but maybe looking at what you cleared, you may just be able to tell by process of elimination. That's what happened. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought I heard that little bit of a sound glitch with the roar, and I was gonna go back in there pretty quickly, but then I got sidetracked finding the other staircase there, and yeah, one thing led to another, and once I realized I never went back there, that's when I decided, okay, that's been enough.
Fair enough.
Yeah, the staircase I think was almost required, maybe not. It was right above the right side eye to be able to get up right next to it, I think 2 rooms away. And ironically enough, on the right side of Gan's room was a second Patra masking his roar a little bit too. So he was pretty good at hiding tonight. Just I think, if from my personal perspective, what kind of gave TA the little time advantage he needed to pull this one out was that he got to skip level 7's dig for the red candle entirely by going to level 4 before going back to 7.
Okay, yeah, I ended up digging 7, just thinking that this high risk, high reward play doing this, and yeah, it definitely hurt my time a little.
Well, then,
Yeah, it's an interesting gamble. If the bow had been in 7, you would have been way ahead. It took a long time to get there. So yeah, like you said, high risk for high reward. You guys are playing game 2 at the same time tomorrow, correct?
That's correct.
Yeah, and that race is on Speed Gaming 3. If it's anything like this one, you won't want to miss it. So check that out. And if any final words before we go here?
No, not really. Just GG's to TA, and hope to see everybody tomorrow. Hope it's another good race.
Yep. All right. So I are we gonna are we gonna host that race that's going on if it still is? Or
we'll keep it here on the Random Media Networks for now, I guess, and send you to Random Media 1. I think they got the conclusion of a Final Fantasy race kind of wrapping up a pretty close one from what I saw when I peeked at it earlier.
all right. Well, so enjoy that.
Yep, thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Hey, good night.